have a chance to race. Okay, I've plugged it to everyone again. Yeah, unfortunately, PSN did a stupid on me. I had to reboot my entire PS4, and obviously I didn't have time to do that, or even figure out that that's what I needed to do. So, I missed slot 1. They're saying that Emery won it, which might mean Twitchy's in trouble, but I think Twitchy was far enough ahead that it won't really matter. Especially if I miss the lobby, though I'm actually a pretty decent boost to the lobby score when I do enter, because I'm at 67 driver rating. The replacement would have been probably something closer to 60, 58 even. Because I know that split 2 is where you start seeing the A's. You get out of the A+ territory. And if Andrew wasn't in there either, if Andrew and Twitchy weren't in there, that's already a significant downer. I don't think that split would have had any more than 340, and that's being generous. But yeah, well done on Emery. They made it really interesting. We're not going to know, since I don't. We're going to have to check her VOD after this race to see what the actual table is like. Although I can tell you now that Barbara had a 27-point advantage, and Emery was going to need 356. I don't think that split would have been 356. Andrew wasn't in it. Twitchy wasn't in it. The best Oceania can do is 360. That has been our best case scenario. So if I got DC'd before the lobby formed, Andrew and Twitchy with their big ratings didn't make it. Okay, apparently it was 349 or something. So, which means still pretty high. Maybe it's a good thing for Guy Barbara's sake that I got booted out of the first slot. Maybe good for my sake too, because it'll be able to give me something I actually have a chance of winning. Yeah, 347 judging by what was posted in the Discord. But yeah, still an all distinct team lockout of the Australian positions. Psydog has guaranteed himself before without needing to necessarily race. He'll be getting the New Zealand spot. Adam is second in case Psydog isn't able to make it for whatever reason. Adam was trying to give himself a double chance of filling in as a reserve. Actually, he did an alt account and drove for Lexus. Keep in mind, alt accounts were declared legal by PD officially, as long as you only use one account in any given season. But each season and each cup counts as its own distinct competition, so you can multi-count if you want, as long as you're not using two accounts in the same competition. I do hope that they change it next year, though, so that we can just change our affiliation between... Here's what I think it should be. You can change your affiliation mid-year if you didn't qualify for any live events. I don't think it's reasonable to change your affiliation if you've qualified for and driven for a different manufacturer. But if you went through the online phase and failed to qualify by mid-season, I think it should be perfectly reasonable to try and qualify for a different manufacturer. Because among other things, Suzuki got completely screwed over this season because no one was able to switch to them. If you wanted to, you needed an alt account, but alt accounts are very difficult to grind up in daily races, so you were behind the 8 ball right from the offset. And with only 12 manufacturers making it, 3 of them are guaranteed positions for partners. It's very competitive to actually get in as a non-partner manufacturer, which Suzuki wasn't. So hopefully next year we'll see Suzuki finally have a fair opportunity to qualify for a live event. I might actually go for Suzuki myself next year, because I wouldn't mind. But then I'd have to drive the front-wheel drive Swift. And again, the Group 3 car is really good at certain combinations. I hear that it's... I've seen from GT Engine's tables that the Suzuki is actually pretty good in a straight line. Really good. Could be another Supra-esque car if top players flock to it. But I think I'll have to give it... I think I'd have to give it a everyone would have to give it a test drive before we say anything about that. Last warm-up lap before qualifying. I didn't see the need to warm up for that long because I put in a really long practice session earlier today and I'm still mostly warmed up from that. So as I said before, there is a phenomenon known as over-practicing for a race where you suddenly start not gaining time, or if anything losing time compared to what you were achieving before. And that's something I always try to avoid, even though it does mean that I don't sweat combos out like some would. Of course, when it came to me going to Austria, I did sweat that combo hard, which is why I actually feel very confident here at Trial Mountain if I can have a race where I don't hit any walls. I'm not going to need to get on top of this first corner issue in qualifying too, because I'm not even going to get a representative lap on the board during warm-up. I mean, I know I have that 47.9, but that's not what I need. Something like a 47.7 would be nice. My best in this car is a 47.5. That 47.4 is from the BRZ before it got nerfed. I genuinely thought it was going to be the best car for the job before the update, but afterwards it just doesn't have enough power. You're probably just going to get burned. Better to get something that's at least middle of the range in terms of power. I mean, we're going to get beaten on top speed by the Mazdas, but as long as I can drive more consistently in the turns, which are very difficult, I think we're on course for a good result here. I don't know. That's the key. I don't know. But then again, the esports guys have all left after slot 1. Simmons got second, Emery got first, and neither of them were able to overtake Twitchy anyway, so I don't think they'll go again because there's no point. It's just the people leave after slot 1. As it turns out, we are actually the fastest driver in practice out of this bunch, and the only guy that I read that I think is going to would really do us in is McEwen. I think McEwen has a good chance because he's warmed up after race 1. The rest of them, not so much. And if it's an all A+ lobby, we could yet get 10th place in the proceedings. Well, that screen, to my knowledge, goes on practice time. This screen goes on DR, and we are 4th to Monarch, Tezzaar, and McEwen. It's just something I've noticed. The first screen is practice time. I may be mistaken, but I think that's how it works. But yeah, as you can see, Emery's conceded that she's not going to get a better lobby than what she did, so you're through. Oh. Wondering if I should drop to the tail, because I'd like to be in a bit of like to be in a bit less traffic than this. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's time to let that one, let these two go. No, look, this is... I know I managed a 47.5 in the M6 as well, so it's not like my 3 practice time is a blip. Which means if I was to nail this quali session, this could be pole. But I think more realistically, McEwen is going to find pace. I'm going to have to talk to chat after this now, though, because very important that we concentrate for the next 7.5 minutes. Well, actually, more like 9. I would like to get myself another lap after the time expires. McEwen's just gonna pull up. Okay, I think we found a good place in the on the track. Careful of McEwen, Barton. I took that way too cautiously. Ideally, you need about 5k's more through that first bit. About 5k's less through that turn to hook it in tight. Oh, my practice splits were a lot better despite not driving particularly well. I'm just going to have to get something on the board here and hope I can recover in the next few laps. That is 7/10 off my best. This is not going to be good enough for provisional pole, I'm afraid. That was... What am I doing? What am I doing? Why am I suddenly so slow? That's better. Thank you. I'll just say that I appreciate that he's let me through instead of trying to keep a really rubbish lap. This is more like it. But why did I take that so cautiously? That's still nowhere near where I need to be here. Okay, McEwen is definitely going to take the pole, but can I at least get P2 behind him? If I don't get P2, I'm going to start on the mediums because I know I have more pace than I'm showing so far in quali. Still could have done better through those two turns, but I think it was faster than last time. Yep, okay. We're into P2. That was a really awkward place. I didn't know where, how, when and how to let Tezzaar go because I was... Let's just hope if we can't improve that Max can't either, because I feel like we should be good to drive away from second on the grid, but third and we might be in trouble. I will take a gamble of starting on the mediums if I do have to start from third. Or should I? Or should I just go softs anyway and hope I can put pressure on Max? Maybe that's the better way to go. I'll think about it. I'll read chat. I'll read chat before I commit to any decision. Oh, there goes Tezzaar. And that's a good lap, so I will still start on the softs, I think. Had to risk cutting it too close and getting a penalty there for the sake of trying to salvage it after a bit of a rough entry into the first turn. I think I can still bring it back if I nail the... no. I was about to say I can still bring that back if I nail the sectors 2 and 3. Yeah, I know I was still a little bit too deep on my fastest lap into the second last turn, but it's really hard to sight the braking marker there. So you often end up going deep without even thinking like you're braking that late. It's easy to go deep into that second last turn. It's something I'll have to think about in the race, though, because in the race you naturally brake a little bit earlier anyway because there's a car in front of you often. Ideally, because I think the cars around me have a tendency to hop over the crest of turn 2. The ideal scenario for me here would be that the likes of Tezzaar and Mad Max come a cropper in the race to that crest. If we'd nailed that quali session, we probably could have taken second, but third isn't bad either. Any meter? I'll ask any member. I'll ask just so I know. I'll put the question just in case, not me. Yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, just so everyone. Starting on the wets. Well, I'm on. Well, I said not me, just to say, you know. Oh, Snow. Look at the chicanery that happens after slot 1. That moment of silence sometimes spooks me because you think, is the lobby just frozen? Are we not going to go to the grid? You know, there are a number of things I'd like to see improved for next year. One of the things I'd like is for this grid walk to be 2x2 so we can get into the action quicker. I think combined with closer rolling starts, don't necessarily like grid starts, as I said yesterday. I think close file rolling starts would be more. Apparently, I just got 4 new messages, but none of them showed up on the YouTube chat. So either my PlayStation is being a twat, or YouTube is, or it's probably just spam. Spam doesn't even show up on chat because I do have the filter set relatively. Oh wait, I should be able to see it and manually approve it if. Anyway, I've got to turn off chat now because it's concentration time. Might actually be able to lap more consistently now that I don't feel any pressure to go maximum speed. And in fact, I can't go maximum speed because to get 7 laps on this set, I'm gonna have to conserve a little. Just take it a little bit easier than I otherwise would. Not too much. I think Max is on medium. That's going to help a lot, actually. I'm not going to try too early to attack Tezzaar because I know that I also need to do just a little bit of tyre saving to make this work for 7 laps. Just trying to go a little bit shallower to make sure I've got the final corner right. I am willing to admit that McEwen is not in my race. I'm probably not going to be able to challenge him for the win today, but if I can get Tezzaar, that may still be enough points to leapfrog to 10th. So Josh Law is in 11th, so depending on their drop score, they may have enough points to do it. And as long as I don't do anything stupid, the worst that can happen is that I come third to these two. Why did I short shift? I need to rev out the gearbox. It's the tires that need to be saved. In fact, if McEwen is struggling for race pace, I might have a chance to take both of these. Yeah, this is just going to hold us both up, so I'm not going to worry about. I'll save the battling for the second stint when unless this is McEwen's medium pace. If it is, we're in trouble. Because I could have sworn that I was capable of a 48 on softs myself. So I probably needed to qualify ahead of Tezzaar and then gotten around McEwen early. Oh, I was about to send it, and then he defended just as I was going to make a move. And so I can't get around. Sorry. Oh, this has really hurt us. Monarch Lewis is probably going to have the... What is Tezzaar doing? Just rubbing against me. Oh, you hit a wall. Just let me have the position. Monarch's gained 2 seconds on us. Oh, you... Finally. Are you kidding me? How do I defend? How do I even defend against that? I had barely any. Now Monarch is ahead. Honestly, if Tezzaar was on mediums, which I think he might be. We look like a pair of wankers. This guy was 2.5 seconds behind us, and now he's ahead. Like, who even puts the mediums on when they're qualified second anyway? Or pole for that matter, because I'm pretty sure McEwen's pace is mediums. Monarch Lewis is catching. Oh, I'm gonna have plenty of tyre life though. Yeah, see, that was the pace I actually had, 49.3, but stuck behind two drivers who think it's a good idea to put mediums on from the front row. Unless I'm wrong about this and it really was just them not having race pace. But considering what Monarch Lewis is able to accomplish, I'm going to try to be a little bit less salty now and just focus on the task at hand. Oh, fucking! What is wrong with me? Now I've damaged both sides of my car! No, I'm gonna have to pit early because these two are gonna dive bomb me otherwise. Oh. I spent hours practicing this, and I mess up the race stint anyway. He hasn't done it. Didn't have to let me through like that. The points were here. The points were here. Because oh, am I even going to get jumped by Maxi? Come on. Come on, no, my outlap wasn't that slow. Oh, the overcut. Oh, and he's defending it too. But he's messed it up. What the hell is wrong with me? I didn't even make that mistake in practice. And now Maxi's gonna have a go back at me because I messed that up. Ewan was on meeting the entire time. You could have told me! Oh, I was trying to be sportsmanlike and assumed that the front row was going to be on softs. Oh. Absolute wankers. And Tezzaar did not even try, didn't even have the self-awareness to let me go because he knew I was on softs. I told them. Absolute disgraceful. How is Maxi so fast? If we somehow manage to catch Tezzaar, he's getting dive bombed. He's completely ruined my race. But he's on the softs now, so he's just going to pull away. Which means the best I can hope for is 4th. When we could have easily been racing Monarch Lewis here. We might not even hold on to 4th because Law might be on the softs, so I might turn out to be on the mediums as well. Yeah, he was. So there's a chance we get attacked by Law at the end and end up 5th. 5th with the pace to finish at least 3rd. The best we can hope for is not forgetting to change gears, because that's going to cost me more time. You can see why I'm glad that the season's coming to an end, because I really do need a break from this game. I just get more frustrated than happy when I race. I think by the time Law catches us, his tyres will be pretty dead, so I think we'll be okay to hold on to 4th place at least. But what the fuck? Monarch is where we should be. Because we should have gotten around Tezzaar, but he decided to defend it, and then he just lets Monarch go without a care in the world. Because Tezzaar Tezzaar was always going to get me in the second stint anyway. You should not be defending that. I had to brake a little bit deeper there because I was a little bit worried that Maxi was going to try something. This is effectively the battle. Wait, is Max on softs? Because Max has gained a lot of ground in a hurry. Oh, he's not going to... Caught between two Maxes. And I fear that one is on softs. Yeah, they are. I'm gonna have to let them go. Because... what the fuck happened to us in this race? We had so much pace and then all of a sudden we're dropping places like... We're not. Are we even going to get top 5? Because Law is there, and Barton is directly behind. When we were supposed to be going fast, I had two fucking wankers on mediums when they qualified on the front row. I'll delete this VOD, I'm not happy with it. See, this would be going again worthy, but I told my brother that this would be the only race I'd do. Or at least I implied it. I didn't say it explicitly, but like, fucking hell. Speaking of, where is my race pace anyway? Because I should be ahead of Maxi right now. And they've somehow managed to... Okay, if these two can fight each other, that would be very convenient, because at least then I'll hold on to top half of the field. Oh, for fuck's sake, you don't... I took that sector just fine, I'm like... Now trying to hold him off, I've frigged up my run again. That's 4 cars now that I should be ahead of, but I got completely screwed over. At this point, I'm tempted to just park it again. That's how little fun I'm having right now. And Dredge has got softs as well. Dredge is on softs as well. That's 5 cars now I should be ahead of in this race. I can't even concentrate on driving anymore because... Yeah, I cannot even concentrate on my own driving anymore because I think back to the start of the race and Tezzaar not letting a soft tyre runner through, yet he was perfectly fine with letting Monarch through. Should have been at least as fast as Monarch, but no. We're not even going to acknowledge that. What was with that turn in? Didn't realize 5th gear goes that far on this car. I was always just shifting up at 260. I can easily go 10 seconds faster in that race and be fourth, no problem. No, it's his job to... No, Twitchy, it's his job to recognise that he's hit the wall. Just let me go. He hit the wall at that point. I had at least a fourth place on the cards. Ah! Ah! Because he killed my race. Ah! Why not let me through, though? He lost more time anyway. He lost more time anyway. If he was a... He was always going to get P2 in that race, either way. Because he could take his soft stint longer than me. I was pitting lap 7 at the latest. And because he was still in a mood to fight me on lap 6, I made that's when I made the error, and I had to... You know what? I can't leave it on that. I feel like I have to go again. I feel like I have to go again now, even though I promised my brother I wouldn't be, just because I need to know that I'm able to do this race properly. Actually, wait, I need to do oil first. That's the thing I'm most that's the thing I'm most angry about. I asked if anyone was on the medium at the start of the race. They didn't say anything. Therefore, if they're on the front row, they should be on the softs. It wasn't until lap 2 that I realized, oh hey, McEwen's pace isn't good. Maybe he's on the medium. And it was at that point I realized I had to get around. Up to that point, I was perfectly fine because then we had a 2.5 second cushion on the guy on 4th. Worst that could happen is that I finish on the podium. Oh. Who even starts on the harder tyre from pole anyway? Heck, Tezzaar could have even been challenging McEwen for the lead if he wasn't so busy trying to hold me up. Because then I would have overtaken McEwen and Tezzaar might have gotten through. There's only one solution to this: qualify on pole now that McEwen is done for the night. gladly given the place back to Tezzaar later in the race if he had just driven like a person on medium tyres in the first stint should. Sure, don't jump out of the way for them, but don't go out of your way to hold them up. Explain why he let me. Why he didn't defend against Lewis. Look. And now the lobby, and now the lobby is terrible. And McEwen is still here, despite already getting his win. At this point, there's no point even racing, because the best I can do against those two is third. Best I can do against those two is third. I would have had fourth the previous lobby. Oh. You know what? Fine, you know what? Oh, I can't quit without losing DR. I'm gonna have to do the race. Oh. I thought I could quit before qualifying and I'd still be okay. You know what? Do I even care about my DR? Yeah, I do. I do care about my DR enough to still do this race, even though I feel like I'm getting absolutely bodied by a lobby that simultaneously has two A-rated drivers, so the points are not going to be good, and two esports drivers, so I'm not going to finish in the top two. I'm just gonna... Okay. But see, I can't take the medium tyre myself because then I'm just going to get dive bombed by whoever qualifies behind me. Because they're going to assume pole is on the softs. Okay, let me readjust my posture. I've gotta do something here to not or get sandwiched between Barbara and McEwen. Okay, McEwen's fallen back anyway. Oh, for fuck's sake! Now I have to pull up. Someone's jumped the queue. Okay, cool. Greendale gets off to the side quickly. Well, this lap isn't going to be it. Too much of a spin. Almost feels like having a bad qualifying would be better, because at least then I can justify starting on the mediums and not having to deal with McEwen, who decided to start on the mediums from pole. I'm not changing my strategy, by the way, if I qualify top 3. I'm still starting on the softs. It's just that I will... I'm still starting on the softs because I have to assume that the next driver is going to be on the softs, because we're still so far up the grid. Just let me focus now. I'll just have to... I don't even need that good a lap to qualify third, honestly. So let's just focus on making sure I start this race third again. You can see how good the esports drivers are, though. This is a race that Barbara wasn't even going to race at first. He's jumped on for fun and immediately gone pole. Maybe still just a little bit deep into that corner. I mean, I appreciate the driving advice. I know I was in a little bit deep at that turn, the last slot. Yeah, it could be better, but greetings all new viewers, because I know that I have a relatively high viewer count today. I wish you could see me in higher spirits than this, but I tried streaming slot 1. The PlayStation Network kicked me right out 2 minutes before the race, and I had to reboot my entire console, which obviously took too long. Slot 2, I thought I was on for a good race, and then turns out the two drivers on the front row decide to take the mediums unexpectedly, and that completely derails my entire race. I start making stupid errors because I'm really angry at that. So here we are in slot 3 now, trying to not yeet the chicane, because that probably cost me the 2 temps that I would have had. Yeah, that's cost me a lot of time, and I'm gonna have to back off a little bit because Green Goldfish is going to be a little bit too slow. Otherwise, I mean, they're fast, but I am going to catch them if I continue at my current rate of pace. So I'll just slow down a little bit and make the last lap count if I can. Oh, see, now that Phase T-Tour has shown he's got the pace, I feel like I have to go softs, because otherwise T-Tour is just going to get me. Yeah, I'm gonna drop back a bit just to make sure I'm in something resembling. To be fair, that didn't exactly put me in much better position. I feel like this lap is good for a 47, not much more than that, but we'll at least extend the gap a little over T-Tour, as long as I don't bottle it. So I almost did right there. I'd like to think that that's a 47, but I don't know until I cross the line. Yeah, it wasn't, but hey, at least we're okay. At least we're starting third. I don't even know what to do now, because Now Barbara's on pole. Are they going to start on the softs? Because McEwen has already showed that he's going to start on the softs, but is Titor going to? I don't know. I don't know what Titor's going to do, so I feel like I can't. I feel like I can't go medium on the first end. Otherwise, I'm just going to lose more time. Like, okay. But in any case, this time I'm not saying anything because last time I tried to ask, and they said, "Oh, yeah, okay." Well, if McEwen's on the mediums, I'll try and overtake him on the first stint because I am worried that Titor is going to be on the softs. I mean, look, I just I just didn't expect it. That's all. I thought that if McEwen and Tezzaar were on the mediums, the first chance I got to pass, they would allow it. But Tezzaar didn't. So it's not necessarily the starting on mediums that I even have a problem with. Because I realised it after lap 2, oh, they're actually on mediums here, I should probably get a move on. But if I sense that McEwen's on the mediums again, I'll try and make a move. Now that I know, and if Barbara is on the softs, that will allow. Actually, that I think was the bigger problem for me. I couldn't overtake Tezzaar because he had McEwen's slipstream, and McEwen couldn't go fast because he was on the mediums. I think even with the esports drivers boosting this lobby a bit, I still don't have confidence that this is going to be a high score overall. Although I suppose it's only 11 drivers in total, so it could be that those two boosted up so much that it makes up for the A's. Why was I even worried about Titor? The Skyline doesn't launch off the grid at all. It's easy to forget that the Skyline is actually really bad on acceleration and only makes up its time by maintaining speed. Because it's got really good top speed once it gets going. But it takes a long time to get there. Could be that Barbara is on mediums, but is so fast anyway. I'm not doing that. I need to save my tyres. I'll apologise to Tezzaar afterwards. I think I feel like I crossed the line by saying wanker. Yeah, I think these two are still on meds. I think these two are on meds again. But the question is, where do I pass? Because I do have to get by these two soon. Could be that their medium speed is my soft speed, but I do think I've got more race pace than that. Case in point, was able to get around McEwen right then and there. That's already a lot better than the first stint went, where we were unable to get around anyone. And if McEwen's clattered the wall, that may actually open up a chance to hold him off later on. So all of a sudden, it's not a case of them having him having a 3 shot at me. I feel like I took that complex really well. No, don't defend it this early. I was never thinking of going for that. I may consider going for something a couple of corners from now, like this. No, I can't get a good enough drive out of that corner, so it's going to have to wait for another time. No point doing it down this straight either. Yeah, he's on medium. He'd be pulling away from me very easily if he was on soft. I'll try and stay close enough to make a move. I think I'm close enough this time though, so I'll definitely try something here. Oh, for... I had to slow down on a straight. What was up with that? Whoever's in... Dirty air. There's no real chance of getting a run through there unless the car ahead makes a mistake. It's like... hang it round the outside, but there's no grip out there. Oh. McEwen has gained a full second on us. Seriously, this is ruining our race again. He could have even slipstreamed me, you know. He could have used my slipstream to get further ahead of McEwen. Because McEwen was out of slipstream range. But no, he wants to prove a point by entering my lobby and doing the same thing Tezzaar did to me last slot. At this point it feels like I'm just getting spited. In fairness, my soft pace falls away to their medium pace around this point of the race anyway, so it's fine as long as we don't continue battling. I may have to be the one to concede that I'm not going to get by Barbara, and yeah. On worn tyres, that's about the best I can do. That might be a pen though. Somehow it's not. That was actually a pen every time I did it in practice. But I think there's some leniency in lobby mode. At least it feels like it, because I've been able to cut that corner tighter than I ever could in practice and be fine. Good race from a good recovery from McEwen to be right back here with us though. He did lose a lot of time. It's alright. It's alright. It actually barely affects the car at all. It's actually barely affecting the car at all, even though it's classifying as damage, so it feels like I'm pretty much going as fast as I would anyway. Yeah, and it's repaired in time for the final chicane as well. I could have trusted FaZe after all. Everyone and their mother goes medium, which kind of spoils this plan. But really, 10 laps on the softs? I can only do 7. And it's going to be a very... It's going to be a very tight squeeze to get the 7th in. So I have a feeling Tezzaar has gone too early. His tyres are going to be really bad by the time he gets to me. I still reckon I would have been slightly faster leading out for Barbara. Probably would have given Barbara a bigger gap over McEwen than he's going to have. Oh well, I know why he did it. He wanted to prove a point. I'm just really upset that that's 2 races in a row that the pole sitter decided to take mediums when that's not the usual logic you're supposed to use in these races. So let's... The idea is that if you've qualified top 3 or 4, then you take the softs, and then you take the harder tyre if you're a little bit further back. What's the yellow flag for? That's actually hurt me a lot because I had to assume that he was about to unghost because he was getting back up to speed. No. I am not Dan Holland. I'm going to own up to my rage moment and leave the VOD up. I'm just going to retitle the VOD. Something like "I'm an idiot." That'll do. Barbara tried McEwen trying the undercut. Actually, do I get out ahead of McEwen, or am I behind him now? I'm probably behind him now. I see him already. Yeah, I'm behind him. But I'll... Can you please drive properly, Jay? Just because there's a car ahead doesn't excuse you completely messing up the first corner like an absolute B-rated, disliked, unsubbed. Oh well. But see, I've got pace to do a 48 on the softs, and I'm just not being allowed to use it because 2 races in a row. Barbara even said softs, and then all of a sudden he's on mediums. So I don't get that. Like, why does he outright lie about it? Yeah, I've potentially had 2 races now ruined. We'll see we'll see how close FaZe T-Tor can get to me, but that's potentially 2 races now ruined. Oh, that's definitely going to be a pen. I cannot believe that wasn't a pen. But hey, I got to remember that FaZe T-Tor is also on worn softs. So by the time he actually catches me, if he catches me at all, the pace differential is probably going to be the same. I'm sorry I didn't give the room back to you so early, but this will be the last time I just speaking to my brother. I just wanted to let him know what's going on, because I was supposed to be off by now, but I couldn't let such a bad race be my lasting memory of Gran Turismo 7 for a while. Because I will take a break. It's obvious that I need one, because I'm just letting everything get to me. Now all of a sudden FaZe T-Tor's found pace again. I thought for a moment that we had enough pace to rebuff him, but this is going to be very tricky to the flag now, because I was unable to. I needed maybe a lap or 2 ahead of Barbara, so that I could put in a 48, even if it was just a high 48. That would have given me more of a cushion to work with than I have. But he defended. He defended the place, even though his race was with McEwen. And because he's defended it, McEwen is in front. That's my point. You've got McEwen went from 2 seconds behind to ahead of him. Whereas I think if I was leading that 2-car train, we would have gone a few tenths faster a lap. Oh, I've missed a gear shift too. That's going to give FaZe T-Tor a 3/10. His tyres have to be wearing out now though, because he pitted on lap 6. This is the race pace I was hoping to lay down all along, but I think it may be a little bit too late. Tezzaar is on the verge of getting us. That car is so good in corners and so good down straights. It's just the acceleration zones that I'm able to gain anything on him on. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do what Twitchy was doing, because if he gets close enough, I think it's inevitable that he just blows right by me before we even get to the apex. It was an awful run through there. Come on, I can't be giving up good time after bad. At the very least, I need to get good exits to stop the bleeding when I get to down this straight, and he just... What am I supposed to do? In dirty air, he's gone faster than me through the first few corners. Look at this, I'm not even going to be able to defend this, because by the time we get down there, he's already going to have a car length on me. I mean, we should have finished 4th last slot, and we didn't because Tezzaar wanted to fight me. So to only finish 4th in the slot after that would not be acceptable. We have to somehow hope that Tezzaar's tyres fall away right now, because they were supposed to. They're supposed to. It's he's gone for 10 laps. If they somehow survive, I'm going to have to see what he's actually doing, because I thought you could only get 10 laps out of the softs here with tyre saving strats. Not even the esports guys are doing 10 laps on softs. guess it hasn't affected Barbara's result. He's still going to win this. Don't know why McEwen went again when he's... Don't know why McEwen went again when he'd already won his race. Maybe Barbara said he was going to join, and McEwen liked the sound of racing Barbara. But even then, I'm like, if they weren't here, even then, if they weren't here, I win this race because I go faster in the first stint because I'm on the softs and I'm not blocked by Barbara saying he's going to be on the softs only to take the mediums. So I feel like I'm at least a couple of seconds faster compared to Phase T-Tour if I don't get blocked again. Second race in a row that I've had someone else cost me at one or more places here at Trial Mountain. There's no point doing slots 4 and 5. Just wanted to frickin' wreck my car after that because I've been fucked again. Easy P3 if I don't get blocked. But Barbara says he's going to be on the softs, takes the mediums, and screws me over again. The best part is he had no motivation to do it because he was racing McEwen. And McEwen caught up and passed him and undercut him because of that. So I ended up getting passed by T-Tour when I probably could have held on if I'd been allowed to actually run my race in the first stint. You know, the worst part is P3 would still have been enough to gain a place in the league. Instead, I've lost one because T-Tour improved. Fuck's sake. We're supposed to be well ahead of Tezzaar at the end there. No, you defended. Like, he just chopped me off at the last moment. I had to back out of it. When I had the best run, I had on him all race, he chops me off at the last moment, and I'm forced to back out of it. And he acts like I could have easily gotten around of him. No, he's making my life worse by making his life worse. Points aren't going to be good from slot 4 onwards. I feel like the only reason Twitchy went is because I went and he wanted to fuck with me. So if I go again, he's just going to go again and try to fuck me some more. So now we have to keep the VOD up because I've got proof that as a driver has gone out of his way to ruin my race at their own expense. Well, I didn't know what Tezzaar was going to do, McEwen. For all I knew, Tezzaar was going to be on the softs, and because he's in that bloody skyline, I'm going to get dive bombed on lap 1. Like, what else am I supposed to do? He's not even lying for a tactical gain in the World Series. He's lying about starting on softs just so he can block me in the race. Because the points, he wasn't going to improve his score in Nations. Everyone acts. You would have won the race if you just let me through. I was faster. We had a chance to distance McEwen. No, look back at, it was either lap 2 or 3 or 4. You chopped me off at the last minute. I had to get off the accelerator on a straight. Mate, on my soft pace was high 48s, low 49s. You in front of me were doing high 49s. Wish I'd saved the replay now so I can show him what I meant, but you're just gonna have to look at the bloody replay now. Like, I saved the first race, but I don't even want to show that because Well, Twitchy's already confirmed that he's going to be in slot 4 and probably 5 too, so there's no point in me racing, because the only reason I want to race now is so I can get a win. But that's not going to happen. The only reason we're even keeping the stream up is because we've got company tonight. Oh look, my race was ruined well before that by Tezzaar. So it doesn't even matter. Slot 3 was fine. But I still think I lost several seconds to bullshit. Simple reason for running the BMW, I thought the Mazda was shit. Like, I could demonstrate why I thought the Mazda was shit. Just real quick. Like, we're not gonna bother entering this event, but oh, okay. Let me show you the problem I was having with the Mazda. No, you're allowed to run the mediums. I said that at the start of the second race, that I wasn't angry at the fact that Tezzaar ran the mediums. I was angry at the fact that he was clearly blocking me, when the letting me go would have been faster for both of us. So look, the big problem for me with the Mazda is turns 1 to 3. Doesn't matter if we get a penalty. The point is, yeah, it does that. It does. You saw that. It goes over the hump and it gets lift. The BMW doesn't do that. So I thought this car is going to be absolutely disgusting for me to try and maximize. The BMW, at least, I can get within a couple of tenths of the pace that I would have with the Mazda and not get chucked out by the I would have let him through, McEwen. I knew that he was going to come back on me on the softs, so I would have let him go because I had my own drivers to race against. No, you saw in the following slot that you managed to undercut Twitchy because he blocked. You managed to undercut Twitchy because he was blocking rather than going as fast as possible. The faster strategy would have been to let me take the lead and slipstream off me rather than the other way around. My tyres died on laps 6 and 7, but even then I had roughly the same pace as Barbara. Yeah, see, yeah, that was the point. You did an extra lap on mediums. Yeah, and Barbara wrote in the race that he was on softs. Yeah, you can see even when I get there, even when I get this first corner complex right in the Mazda, it still lifts a little, and I was not too happy with that. There are bits where it's faster, like it's got more grip, and that's something to get used to. But that first sector split is disgusting. No, I knew that my strategy was worse, but it was a strategy I felt I was forced into because I don't know what the cars are, what phase behind me is going to do. I don't know what phase behind me is going to do, and the top two drivers in my lobby are esports drivers, so I would figure that even if they were on mediums, they wouldn't be much slower. So yeah, you can see you can see I just wasn't able to do it in the Mazda, because even when I got a clean run in, it was still very slow. I could just about get 7 laps out of the softs on the BMW, and that was good enough for me. What else am I even going to do? Most people have left. I think it's time to end the stream. We're down to 3 viewers again. I was extending the stream a bit because I had, at one point, the PlayStation said I had 10, but I don't know how accurate that was. But yeah, look, I mean,